So I typically do a Facebook Live, and my new page, my new business only has 67, I think 68 followers. And I just learned that to go live, to do a preview for my group coaching space today, you have to have 100 followers, which I don't have on my new page that I just started. So share this with a friend. I hope that you'll join me in growing that space and helping create change and helping us all acquire and attract more abundance for each of us in this life that we're living here. So as a preview, a recorded preview of what I'm going to teach today, in my coaching space, or really I look at it more as a communal space, a community space of like-minded folks, which typically are real estate agents, realtors, where we explore how to tap into more abundance, how to tap into more success, whether it be in our home lives, in our relationships, in our spirituality, our connectivity to one another, or simply monetary, financial, business success. How do we just tap into our excellence and become better, right? Because I think my experience is we all are yearning, my experience is we're yearning for more. I was yearning for more success in all areas of life. And that sort of started this coaching journey for me personally. And along the way, I learned some things about the mind. And so that's what I'm going to talk to the group about today in our community. And we're going to do some individual work. So I'll just give you a little preview of what that is about. But the mind and body connection is real, the mind and body connection. And our body really does what our mind is kind of instructing it to do. So if we're all wanting something different, we first must focus on the mind. The mind is critical to creating change, lasting change. Except the challenge with that is if the mind were simple enough to understand, it is said that we would be too simple. That's a quote from, Emerson Pugh, I believe. So if the mind were simple enough to understand, we, in fact, as humans, would simply be too simple. So I think that's an interesting little quote. And so understanding the mind becomes critical to your success and your journey in achieving more and acquiring that abundance. And so it starts with the base level where everyone begins, which is just wanting a different result, wanting a different outcome, as I call it. So wanting it to be different. You want to experience a different result, a different outcome. Now, this could be weight. You want to have a different weight. You want to be healthier, and yet you still go about not exercising and eating the wrong foods. And those are all what? Those are all behaviors. And so these behaviors are sort of sabotaging you from getting the result that you want, and you keep getting more long-term, typically, of the outcome, the result that you do not want, right? One of the things we say is focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And so wanting a different result and producing a different result is often the challenge. I work with salespeople, realtors, and knowing the formula is simple: contact more people, have more conversations, help people more deeply, and have an increase and have more sales. So, okay, great. I know that's called lead generation. I must do that in some form or fashion. And yet, I don't go about the activity of the behavior of lead generation, and therefore my sales results don't shift or change. Or they do in a short, big burst. We call the roller coaster ride in real estate. It works effectively in the short term, but we can't maintain consistency over time. Why? Because some fundamentals in this process of change have not changed. So focusing simply on results doesn't happen. Focusing simply on the next layer up, which is behavior, doesn't get you long-term results. So what about the next layer up from that, which is what? Potential. Changing and shifting your potential. Will that tap into greater behaviors, longer-term behaviors, which are possibly going to generate the different, more desirable results? Yes. And to be really effective of that, how do you increase your potential? That's the question. Well, great. Well, how do I increase my potential? Increasing your learning, increasing your awareness, igniting that fuse of action. All of that can increase your potential. Reframing things increases your potential. Looking at it differently. And all of this is stemming from a deeper layer of your mind, which is what? Your beliefs. What is it that you truly believe is what creates this spiral effect downward? So a continual downward spiral, or a spiral upward into momentum. Tony Robbins always says, massive action. Yes, that's an upward momentum, creating momentum into the direction you want. Now, it doesn't have to be momentous action. The truth is, it's working on your belief systems, which will then trickle down into the potential that you have. You have opened and tapped into a new potential. You now can be more likely to shift behaviors, change behaviors, which will lead to that different result. So it's just working on the mind is what creates the mechanism for change. So it's not always doing more in order to have more. It's being more. That be, do, have more is really what it's all about. So that's what we're going to tap into a little bit deeper is, okay, how do I have lasting change in any area or in all areas of life? Because understanding how to do that work changes everything, right? And invites abundance and curiosity and excitement and a love and a lust for life, if we would say. So which direction are you headed now? That's really the question that I have for you, is which direction are you headed now? Are you spiraling up in momentum and abundance in all ways, all things, all means? Or are you spiraling down, becoming more tired, dreading the day, today, and wanting something different? The mechanism for that change, for actuality, for achievement, for spiraling back upward in that direction is understanding your mind, but furthermore, changing your beliefs. Now, there's two more layers that I'm not talking about right here in this space. There are two more layers of your mind, which can also fast track how you make change and create change. And so we'll be talking about those more in my private spaces. And so if this is a conversation that interests you, if you're wanting to know, wait a minute, I want to spiral in the other direction, I'm ready for more, just reach out, connect with me. Otherwise, you're welcome to stay in this space and take advantage of that. But I'd like to give a little preview usually on Tuesdays of what we're going to dive into. And my group space is called the Greenhouse Collective. So I love green meaning just alive and energy and abundance and all things living and growing. And house, because that connects what to my avatar, to my Right Fit clients, which typically are realtors and salespeople and entrepreneurs. And greenhouse, of course, connects with me with my great passion of growing things as a master gardener. And collective. This is a space of community, because that's the future that I believe is going to be missing. Much like COVID was a challenge for most of us, we felt isolation, we felt disconnected. This AI shift and change and transition is going to potentially create a storm much like that. And so I feel like the connectivity, the communal connectivity of like-minded people, that tribe where you can connect and know you fit right in and your question isn't too dumb, too stupid, like we invite it all with curiosity and acceptance and exploration. That's the space. So if that's interesting to you, we'd love to have you. So reach out and we can talk more about that. It meets Tuesdays, 1:30 to 2:30. It's different than a coaching space. It's a community space where we're all contributing. We're all having the conversation. And today it's about which direction are you headed? Abundance, or are you downward spiraling? And not living your best life, finding your freedom. So with that, have an amazing week ahead. There's much to be curious about and grateful for and invite into your life. And I hope to invite you into our space and see you soon. So hope you learned something. Have an amazing week. Bye, y'all.